What's good, G-Life? It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. I highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. It's absolutely free. It don't cost a damn thing. Join the G-Life. Don't forget to check out my second channel, Man Society M.O.D, where we talk about stuff outside of the streets. Now, what I wanted to get into was answering a few of my, messages that I be getting on my email. I know I be getting a gang of them. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with everything. I wrote a few down, right, that I know I could be able to answer, But before we get into that, for the ones that be coming in here into my channel and being like, why are you talking about this? Who cares? It's pointless. Why are you even, speaking on this and blah, 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 blah. Understand that my channel is a street channel, right? So this is what we do here. We talk about the streets, right? So you can't come onto my channel and be appalled or upset that we are speaking about the streets. That's what this channel is about. Like, why would you come into a street channel and be mad that they're talking about the streets? Like, you don't walk into a pizza place and be mad that they're not selling burgers. Like, it's a pizza place. Like, that's what they sell. So it's a street channel. This is what we talk about, And like I said, the channels are optional, you know what I mean? But this is what this channel is about. So now, the first question that I got right here is what is the what is the difference between a gangster, a gang member, and a gang banger? Well, first of all, this is questions and arguments that homies don't have. Homies don't care for what you call them. It's irrelevant to them. You know what I mean? These are terms that law enforcement gave them either way, you know what I mean? Because obviously a gangster is someone who belongs to a gang. I know people always say, nah, you get me. By definition, right? And where the word came from, right? When gangs first originated, right? It was 3 or more individuals that were committing, criminal activity, right? It's what was considered a gang, right? Gang is a group of individuals, right? And that's what law enforcement chose to label these individuals and labeling each member a gangster, right? Being associated with the gang, right? So gang member and gangster is the same thing, right? You're a member of that gang, gangster is pretty much, same shit, right? And then a gangbanger is someone who's actually out there doing the work, putting in work, running around, doing all the youngsters kind of stuff, the gangbanging stuff, right? But at one point, these gang members were gangbangers in the younger days, right? So at the end of the day, it's irrelevant. Gangster, gangbanger, gang member, it's all the same shit, right? Because at one point, the gang members and gangsters used to be gangbangers. So at the end of the day, it's all the same shit, right? And at the end of the day, they don't even really care either way, you know what I mean? These are arguments that people who are not gang-related choose to have on here, right? And then you'll have a few individuals who took that and grabbed and ran with it, right? Because it sounded good. But at the end of the day, real homies don't discuss this kind of stuff and really don't care. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's all irrelevant, what you want to label them. What's up, my G? By any chance did you get to catch the Pocho and Tony A interview? Yeah, it was an interesting interview. Overall, I'm pretty sure people are probably, because you're not the first individual who has asked me this question, and I get it. A lot of individuals have been asking me this question, and I'm assuming because, like, the whole thing with, Hater World and also what you said about Icon, LA Icon. But see, this is the thing. When it's beefs between individuals, I don't get involved. That's none of my business. It's not my place to come and stir the pot or to say who's right and who's wrong or any of that, right? That's issues stay between those individuals. It has nothing to do with me. I speak on topics when it comes to overall groups, scenarios, right? Culture, right? When it overall involves, culture or group of individuals. Never when it's personal beef between individuals. I don't meddle in because it's not my place to do that. You know what I mean? I'm on my own, you know what I mean? Because it's none of my business. So, as for that, it's none of my place. But I will say, he was saying that, with the whole, when he was on the Fools and, he felt like, people in the comments, were grilling him and he wasn't being defended and everything. Look, a lot of individuals, go on the comments and claim to be Southerners, claim to be Northerners, and go on channels and talk shit and all that. I used to have a troll who used to troll my channel who, after watching my channel, he let me know the scoop, right? He used to pretend he was, gang members from different gangs. He used to make different accounts and he used to go and talk shit. It amused him, right? Because he said growing up where he grew up, he would be, picked on by gang members, right? So it was his form of, releasing his frustration, right? He didn't want to see these people succeed and stuff like that. So, he would irritate them now on the internet, right? Because, see, this is new to homeboys, right? So they're not used to it, right? It could be anybody, pretending to be anybody in the comments and talk smack just to stir up stuff. Like he would say, he was, claimed to be, he said he would soak up game, right? Like know who their enemies were or where their peace treaties were, and then claim to be that neighborhood to start problems again, like to really just try to like mess with them, so that's why you have to be careful what you say or who you accuse of anything in the comments, right? Because for all you know, you don't even know who those individuals are, you know. And like I've always said, real homies don't tend to go on the comments and talk shit, bro. They get nothing out of it, bro. And those are facts. I know you see some weirdos on the internet, that run their mouths and stuff like that, but real homies don't be doing that kind of shit, bro. That's just real talk. Another question I see right here is what's up, my boy? I like what you do with your channel, speaking good vibes, helping the youth stay out of the streets. Uh, but don't you think by staying quiet, not speaking on certain topics or groups, only increases the chances of them joining group or empowering them? Empowering them? By not speaking on certain organizations and groups, does that mean empowering them? It gives them a chance to manipulate. Okay, so manipulate the youth. If you choose not to speak on stuff, the chances of manipulation and all that is higher. Okay, I get what you mean. No. I could see why individuals would think that because they're not from the streets, so therefore they don't know, right? They're not a part of this life, so they think that no, it's better if you speak on these topics, to get these individuals to know about, what really happens and what really goes on. But see, the thing is that when you're growing up in the streets, right, and associating yourself with these individuals, you know how it goes. We know how it goes. We know what happens. We know the stories, the trade. We know them before the audience knows. You know what I mean? So these individuals are aware of what happens and stuff like that. Now you're probably like, well, why do they still choose to, run their life and still to go down that path? Like I said, the pain, it runs deep. You know what I mean? So you really get nothing out of speaking about these organizations except, putting a target on yourself. You know what I mean? And not only that, giving these individuals now a reason of what to strive for, right? Because I could be talked about now, get my time of fame. So you get nothing out of speaking about, these organizations and the crimes they commit. I talked about this in my other channel. I made a video talking about can you scare the youth straight, right? Where studies have shown that it does not. It does not work. This is not stuff. This is not my opinion. You know what I mean? I mean scientific research, bro. Greatest minds in planet Earth, bro. I doubt individuals on YouTube know more than the greatest minds in the planet, right? They teach this in universities, bro, to the most intelligent people, bro. You know what I mean? So obviously, I tend to side with their opinion more than with somebody who really isn't educated on the overall, topic of, when we're talking about personality disorders and the overall psychopathy of individuals. You know what I mean? So when it comes to, these individuals, the only thing I could think of is you're bringing heat to yourself, or because I know that those stories gravitate people. A lot of people are interested in that kind of stuff, right? So it pulls in numbers, views, revenue. That's the only thing I could think of, because I doubt if it would bring in revenue that individuals would even be speaking about topics. You get what I'm saying? So as a whole youth thing, no, because these individuals already know this information. They're aware of what happens and what's going on and all the moves and shakes and everything, as scandalous as they may be. These guys are aware, so really, who's the information gonna help, if these people are already like aware? You know what I mean? The only one that I could see helping is the people who are not a part of the street life, who have nothing to do with this life, right? Because now they are educated on the topics. But what does that have to do with saving the youth and discouraging people and stuff like that? Nothing at all. You get what I mean? And trust me, I should know. A lot of these youngsters don't even watch. Some of these individuals because of who they are. I should know. I asked these youngsters. You know, as soon as they hear that somebody's they're in no good status or whatever, they tune them out, bro, completely. Real talk. Probably the only ones that would watch that are probably still affiliated are the ones that are half stepping already. You know what I mean? But as in the overall youth reach, I mean, they're tuning it out like that. They don't take their word for nothing. Um, you know what I mean? There's nothing I could do about that. You know what I mean? Mm, but overall, that's my opinion on the matter. But like I said, this is just my opinion. You know what I mean? So don't take it too hard. But that's overall. What I think about that. Um, with the whole gangster, I think that the gang problem will ever stop? I think one day, yeah. You know what I mean? As time goes by, things are getting better, right? People are now more aware of stuff, aware of how important it is to be a parent, being in children's lives. Now, being in their lives right now, keeping their kids, away from the streets and stuff like that. It makes it harder to recruit members. Gangs get smaller. Then the ones that are around end up getting older, and then they wither away. You know what I mean? A lot of factors play into that. So I feel like one day, uh, but not anytime soon though, because with all the chaos in the world and poverty still existing and a bunch of factors that still play in, people not willing to be parents and everything like that. Yeah, I still see this problem being a problem, for a good while, because people, want to do whatever the hell they want instead of being parents, bro. That's real shit. But overall, those are just my opinion on a few topics. If you guys, are interested in, asking any questions, let me know in the comments or email me. I'll be happy to answer them if I'm able to talk about the topics. But that's just overall my opinion. Shadow, we out.